here on this storm that's moving really through I apologize, the eastern edge of Boone County and into Hamilton County, heading towards Noblesville. I will say that this storm is starting to weaken a bit as it heads farther to the northeast, but we have this warned storm until 8 p.m. tonight, and we have had hail reports out of this. A recent report out of Zionsville did say it was 1-inch size hail, and this was 3 miles east-southeast of Zionsville. And that was in the vicinity of 9700 Shelbourne Road. That's just north of I-465, north side of Indy. So we know that this storm does have the capabilities of being strong and severe. I'm going to go ahead and back this up about 30 minutes. I've been watching this storm as it took shape. Let me zoom out here a little bit. And we'll put this one in motion. You can see here it was moving through Brownsburg, and then as it moved into the northwestern portion of Marion County, it really just started to explode, and it had some just the remnants of what looked like to be some large hail, likely some gusty winds over 60 miles per hour with these storms, as well as the hail that's associated with it. So let me go ahead and pause this for you, and I'll put this a time lapse of time of arrival on this storm system so you can see where this thunderstorm is heading. It's moving about 30 miles per hour to the northeast. And see Cicero, you're in the vicinity in about 10 minutes, Lapel in about 11 minutes, but Lapel, you're not actually in the warned area, so just a heads up, you're going to see some heavy rain that just moved through Fishers, but still nonetheless, even this heavy rain that's to the east of the polygon is still going to have some impacts. I know my husband was in Fishers tonight, and he sent me a message saying the house was shaking from the wind and just the lightning that was coming through the area. So taking a look at some of the other reports that we've had coming in, there's been warnings, especially up in northern Indiana, for Elkhart, LaGrange, Noble counties under warnings as well. But that's the main one that we have right now for us. And we do expect to see more popping up on radar. I'm going to go ahead and zoom back out on this and clear this off so we can see the storm system a little bit better. Not a lot going on. It's obviously a lot more discreet than it was the other night, and hail is definitely a possibility, but we kind of thought that the stronger winds would also be part of it. My assistant news director living on the northwest side of Indy said the hail was very minimal. It's gone. It's actually stopped raining there, but he's going to see another round of rain here very shortly, as just to the southwest of Meridian Hills, we have another blob of rain, some lightning associated with that, and possibly even some hail within that storm system. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the possible wind that we may have with it. Doesn't look like will be too substantial, but Westfield, the reflectivity on here again, it's moving into Westfield, so we're starting to see some downdraft winds out of this. Let me query this. 39 mile per hour winds, 27 mile per hour winds, 34. So a little bit below the threshold of that 58 mile per hour wind gust where we see the severe weather. Severe winds are considered 58 miles per hour or higher. That's what actually causes damage. The same with hail. Hail is 1 inch or larger, and putting the hail swath on here, you can see that we've had some hail with that. The darker areas here are showing that it was more probable, and that's just to the south of Zionsville. So some of those are verifying with the radar, which is always important to get these reports in. And they're continuing the severe thunderstorm warning for Boone, Hamilton, and Marion County, and that is until 8 o'clock. So we've got about 8 more minutes left of this warned storm. Hopefully this will continue to die down. Let's take another look here, though. It's still looking pretty good, pretty powerful storm. And again, really the main area that's going to be impacted is Noblesville, Cicero, possibly Arcadia once it gets out of this polygon. And let me do another time of arrival here. The leading edge. And It's moving about 30 miles per hour. So Arcadia, you'll see the storm in about 17 minutes. Cicero 11 and Noblesville, it should be knocking on your back door right now. You should be hearing some of those loud thunder boomers as it continues to push off to the northeast. It's taking a northeasterly flow right now, but we do expect these storms to start shifting a little bit farther to the east once they start turning with the storm motion we have. We do have storms up in northern Indiana, a lot of warnings up here, possibly even some rotation within some of these storms, just in a better environment for some of the rotation. Thankfully, it's not us, but if you have friends and family, I know I do, in Fort Wayne, that's something to continue to monitor for them as well. Give them the heads up. There is a severe thunderstorm warning right now for Allen County until 8:30 this evening, and likely another area will start getting in the warned area as well. I'm going to go ahead and show you that we do have a severe thunderstorm watch that's in effect for areas along and north of I-70. I'll go ahead and put those boxes on here so you can see. And again, it's right along that I-70 corridor. It's kind of that line of demarcation. It's a good reference point, but a lot of times we do see that dividing line with that. So these are here in effect until 1 o'clock in the morning. So we really think this threat is going to continue at least until probably 10 or 11 o'clock tonight. But the Storm Prediction Center has it until 1 a.m. So we'll see if that expires a little bit earlier. I'm going to go ahead and take that back off again. And we'll see that storm does look like it's weakening some here. So the National Weather Service may expire that a couple minutes early, or they may just let it play out. But nonetheless, there's more showers and heavy rain. Just heavy rain. There's no lightning, actually. If I zoom in closer here, I can get all the way down. No lightning strikes in this heavy downpour moving through Broad Ripple right now, moving over Meridian Hills and Rocky Ripple. Starting to see the heaviest rain moving on out Rocky Ripple. But this is all heading towards Driftwood Hills, Chesterton. Allisonville is going to see some heavy rain here in the next couple minutes. They already had some heavy rain. This will also be making its way into Fishers as well. So let me see if I can see how quickly those storms are moving in as well. And they're starting to take a little bit more of a northeasterly flow, moving about 30 miles per hour. I'm going to go ahead and put this on a 1 hour time lapse here. Yeah, it's tough to say. Looking a little bit more east-northeast, about 30 miles per hour. So I'm going to put a track on it. And take it out 30 miles per hour. Fishers, you're going to see this next storm moving in your way at about 13 minutes. Now 12. And we see, let's take a look, clear this off. And I'm going to jump onto Facebook. So give me a moment here. Let me see if I can pull you guys up. If you guys have any questions, I'll do my best to give it a little look-see. So stand by. Getting this loaded. And I'm going to go ahead. I don't want you to hear me. You'll have like feedback coming through. So I'll turn that off. Let's see. Tony says talk about Marion. Okay, so I assume you mean Marion County because Marion, the town, does not have anything going on right now, but that doesn't mean that it can't happen. But let's go dive back into Marion because we have a lot of population in Marion, and this area is still outlined for that severe thunderstorm warning, including Meridian Hills, but it's now escaping that polygon. Again, these are moving about 30 miles per hour, and it does seem to be taking more of an east-northeasterly flow, which is what we expected. So moving over I-465 here in the next couple of minutes, Avalon Hills and Brendanwood. It's going to be heading towards Hawthorns, Fishers, as I mentioned, in about probably 10 minutes at this point. Germantown and Fall Creek Highland area. You'll start to see this storm in a few minutes. Kokomo, Melissa's asking about Kokomo. So let me zoom back out here. Kokomo has been kind of shut down on some of the severe weather, thankfully. These are not holding together, so I don't think Kokomo is actually going to see this make its way into Howard County at all, and hopefully even fizzle out before it makes its way into Tipton, unless you really want the rain, and that's possible. But at this point, I think we're going to lose that severe status here in the next minute or so. Let's see, the National Weather Service probably expired that warning. Yep, they did. They just expired it. So that warning, it'll go away on my system in a moment. It normally takes a few seconds for it to clear, but this is no longer a warned storm. Yep, there it goes. Okay, so let's just go ahead and I'm just going to go through a few things with you guys, and I'll take a look at some of those questions, and then we'll probably tap out for a little bit, as this might be a busy night. So I'll zoom out here. We still have some heavy rain right now in Hamilton County moving into Madison County. Delaware County is likely going to see some of these heavier downpours. And I'll go ahead and play this in a 1-hour motion. You can see that they're moving pretty quickly. The good thing is they haven't exploded into a lot of heavy rain. They're in a pretty decent environment, some juicy conditions for these storms to initially move and start to really explode like they are in northern Indiana. So as I mentioned, we still have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect. And I'm going to pause this here. Come back to our local area here and just put that watch box on. Again, we have this severe thunderstorm watch in effect until 1 a.m. It includes all the areas along and north of I-70. That's until 1 o'clock in the morning. And right now, no severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for central Indiana. I'll just do a little time of arrival here on this storm before I move off of it for a moment. That wasn't very pretty. Let me redo that. And I'm going to take this a little bit more east, northeast. All right, so Lapel in about 2 minutes, Edgewood 14 minutes, Middletown 16 minutes, and Anderson 17 minutes. You'll start to see the storm moving in your area, but it is just bringing some heavy rain and some lightning. You might have some pea-sized hail with this, but right now it's not severe. So that's definitely some good news. Okay, I'm going to go in and show you guys the forecast for tonight since I have your attention. We'll go through some of the graphics here so you can really see what we're talking about tonight. We have a very warm environment. Temperatures are still pretty warm in many spots. If you check out Lafayette at 90 degrees, 82 still in Indianapolis, even though we've had some rain move through the area, 83 in Greencastle, 87 in Bedford. So very warm at the surface. It's also very moist at the surface with these dew points in the low to mid 70s. Check out Greencastle, 75-degree dew point. That is very sticky. So Putnam County, I know you're feeling it. We're going to see a break from that, and I'm going to get to that too, so stick with me here. Our heat indices are in the mid 80s right now in Indy because we had that downpour, but in Lafayette, feeling like 99 degrees, feeling like 91 in Kokomo, feeling like 91 in Terre Haute. And here's a look at our cameras up in Kokomo. I know we had that question about Kokomo. So looks like we have some stratus clouds out there. We're going to continue to see the clouds increasing throughout the evening. And the sunset is around 9:15. It is the summer solstice, technically the longest day of the year. So happy summer solstice and also happy Father's Day. Moving on to another view from north central Indiana, we'll go to Bunker Hill. And you can see a little bit cloudier there. And from there, we'll go to Tipton. Tipton was shut out of some of the storms the other night, and this area could see some storms later on this evening, as well as Howard County. So you guys aren't out of it yet. It just may take a few hours here. The Storm Prediction Center does have All of central Indiana outlined for a risk of severe weather, a little lower risk for that area south of I-70, but north of I-70, we're in that number 2 category for north central Indiana. Northern Indiana does look to be a little bit more of the prime spot. That's where this warm front, this boundary that we talk about, is the trigger mechanism. So it's going to be triggering some of those thunderstorms and to get a very good environment for rising air and very unstable atmosphere that allows these storms to really take off. And they also have the potential of creating some isolated tornadoes. That's all the severe threats are on the table tonight, and it does include isolated tornadoes. Damaging winds is going to be the biggest threat, but we also have the potential of hail. And like I said, we already had a hailer that moved through near Zionsville tonight in that storm that moved through Boone County into Hamilton County, bringing us some hail. Tornado probability for north central Indiana, while it's down to 2%, it's still not out of the question. So keep that in mind. We always ask you to be severe aware. Weather aware today into early tomorrow morning. Here's a look at our wind odds. So the damaging wind threat for Indianapolis is down to about 5%. So that means any area in the brown within a 25-mile radius, we could see a severe wind gust out of some of these storms. And the hail is, again, as I mentioned, on the lower end of it. So most of central Indiana just at that 5% chance. However, we know we've already seen some severe hail. So there you go. It's, again, that's why they put those out there. It is possible. It's just the dynamics aren't necessarily great for it, and it was short-lived, thankfully. And I believe the only storm report I've seen is just for 1-inch size, and that's still considered severe. It causes damage. But at least we're not talking baseball-size hail like we had the other night in New Pal. Crazy, crazy hail. All right, let's go ahead and move on. So this evening, we are going to see those temperatures eventually falling into those upper 70s by about 10 o'clock tonight, and we'll keep the threat of thunderstorms in the forecast and the threat of severe thunderstorms across central Indiana. Now, here's a look at our future track through the evening hours. Tough to pinpoint exactly where these storms are going to set up. Like I said, the best mechanism we have is in northern Indiana. That's going to be our prime spot of seeing these storms develop. So these could shuffle north and south just because it's over Lafayette here at 8:30. That doesn't mean it's necessarily going to be over Tippecanoe County, but it could be pretty close. So we do expect to see these storms initiating throughout the evening. Could see these storms kind of back really exploding as they run into this very good environment. They'll back build some, but really spread north, south, west, east, and continue through, again, about 11 to midnight tonight, and then the cold front moves in. So this is what you're seeing now on this future track. The cold front will push in, and that will also be a trigger mechanism. I think because of the time of arrival, these will be not as strong. This model showing it really starting to fall apart by about 6 o'clock in the morning. So we do expect to see a line starting off in northwest central Indiana. That will be the best chance of seeing some of those stronger wind gusts on the leading edge of those storms. And then a lot of the day tomorrow will start to be a little bit quieter. It'll be cloudy. It'll be windy, I do believe. Temperatures will only fall into the low 70s, upper 60s, but then we're really not going to see much of a warm up tomorrow. As this cold front moves across the area, it'll trigger a few more showers, maybe a thunderstorm or two, but we're going to see the wind shifting out of the northwest. So that's going to bring in cooler and drier air. It's going to be breezy. We're going to see gusts around 25 miles per hour. I don't think it's going to be that pleasant of a day tomorrow. Temperatures will top out around 75, and I have that I know I need to update this next graphic. You'll see it in a moment, but we'll see some rain out of these. It really depends on where they land, where we'll see some of those heavier downpours. It'll be interesting to see how much rain we got out of these storms that are moving through Indianapolis into Hamilton counties right now. Okay, so temperatures I think tomorrow are really going to hover in those mid 70s. I'm going to adjust this part of the forecast because I think it's not going to quite get into the low 80s. It's possible, but I think we're going to see more falling temperatures. Here's some relief, though. If you're tired of the high humidity, the sticky conditions, we're going to see the dew points really drying out later tomorrow night. Once that front moves through, The winds shift out of the northwest during the day tomorrow. It's going to usher in that drier air, which allow the dew points to start to dry out. This is tomorrow night, Tuesday night at 8 p.m. We're going to see dew points possibly dropping into the upper 30s and low 40s. It's going to feel significantly different. It's also going to be a lot cooler on Tuesday. We're going to see highs topping out into the low 70s. Wednesday, a bit warmer. We'll see highs in the upper 70s to near 80 degrees, and it will be 2 sunny, pleasant days as high pressure builds in, and we have a really nice couple of days. By Friday, though, we are tracking a warm front that will trigger some showers and storms, and then by Saturday, a few more showers and storms will be around as well, and that will help set the stage for a bit of a cooler weekend. Here's a look at the 7-day forecast. We'll see a high again tomorrow, 75, and then cooler, less humid on Tuesday, forecasting a low of 51. Might be a little cooler than it'll actually fall. I'm going with 51 right now. Maybe I'll change it at 11 o'clock when I start to look at things more, but that's pretty chilly for this time of year. High of 72, but because of the dry air, I feel like we have a possibility to drop that quickly, but we also will see a warm up into the low 70s after that cold start. And then Wednesday, 80 degrees as we go into the middle of the week. Beautiful Wednesday. Thursday, though, we'll see more clouds moving in. That warm front lifts through, and that will bring us temperatures in the mid-80s, and then storms will be around Friday and Saturday. Okay, let me quickly go back into our analysis here and taking a look at these storms. As you can see, they are really starting to fade out quite a bit. That's good news. Let me just take this back 1 hour for you. And again, of course, an hour ago, the severe thunderstorm warning was issued around 7:35, and then it just kind of fell apart. So that's good news for that. And I'll go ahead and zoom back out again here. Not much going on. So let's hope the rest of the night's quiet. Yes? All right, let me jump on Facebook questions here if there's anything that I can possibly touch on quickly. I'm trying to see if there's actually any questions. Looks like there's a lot of chatting going on here, which is fine. And people are talking to each other. Karen says it's sunny and 80 degrees in Franklin. Yay. Franklin needs some time to dry out. Friday night, it was very hectic there. A lot of wind, some hail, a lot of rain. 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts in Arcadia. Thank you for that update, Tony. Appreciate that very much. Bobby is saying looks like Elwood will get hit. Elwood may actually miss out on this one. This is pushing more east-southeast. I'll put 15 minutes on this so it doesn't move quite so jumpy on you. But yeah, you might, maybe just the southern part and some spotty showers. Elwood, not a lot though. And certainly it's really falling apart quite a bit. So that's definitely some good news. Anderson has a storm coming. Yes, it's weakening as well going into Anderson. So is it heading into Columbus, Indiana? Nope, not yet. In Columbus, you're really not in the hot spot of the stronger storms. Thankfully, you need a break as well, for sure. Bloomington, Brown County, Monroe County, Bartholomew County, you guys need a break. Need some time to dry out with all the flooding issues and the flash floods that we had Friday night into Saturday. It was crazy. Such a bummer, such a bummer. All right, guys, well, I'm going to go ahead and bring this back into no lapse and take a look here at our viewing area. Quiet right now. I'm going to go ahead and jump off here, and I'll continue to monitor, and if we need to jump back on for any severe weather that pops back up, just know that we'll be there. We'll jump back on, and if you have some questions, let me know. So have a great night, Facebook friends, and if you're a father, happy Father's Day to you, and happy Father's Day to my dad. And I'm going to see how their house fared in Fort Wayne since it was storming up there. So have a great night, but if not, if we have another severe watch or warning, I will pop back on here. Have a great night.